And this is where things get really exciting. So an endorsement, like I said, it's a super long, super complicated definition. And when you start seeing definitions like this, where my mouse is, and you just see it goes on and on and on with like tons of legal terminology, this basically means we don't want you to look here. That's the longer and crazier the definitions get, the more you know this is where you should be looking.
Yeah, I mean, the human attention span is dwindling by the day, with all these short form videos and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, the more words and the more complicated legal speak type of words that you can put to a definition, ain't nobody looking at that shit.
And that's the whole point. You look at the word drawee, means a person ordered in a draft to make a payment. Nice and short, not that hard to understand. And then you look at the word endorsement, which I'm not even going to bother trying to read because it's just going to drive all your audience totally, they're going to be jumping out of windows and shit. But basically, like when you look at a definition like this and it goes on and on and on, it makes you want to, unalive yourself. It probably means this is where they don't want you looking. And honestly, in the whole world of financials, if there's one thing that the banks and all these people are just absolutely terrified of you ever finding out anything about, it is about endorsements. Endorsements where all the power is. Okay, so we're going to get into that right now. So what are the various types of endorsements, right? And again, endorsement is just shit that you write on something that basically makes it like exchangeable or transferable or redeemable. Okay, and you're basically writing the rules as the holder. The holder has the right to basically negotiate the instrument. Negotiation means a transfer of possession, whether voluntary or involuntary, of an instrument by a person other than the issuer to the person who thereby becomes its holder. But you can just skip that last part. That can be a little confusing. It's just a transfer of possession. Let's just start with that. This is the first few words here. Negotiation is transfer of possession. So when you hear the term negotiable instrument, it's just an instrument that has value that can be transferred, basically. It's that simple. And then what is negotiation? It's the actual act of transferring it, essentially, right? How does a transfer occur? Through endorsements. Endorsement is the code. So let's say, for example, a negotiable instrument was basically had like a special code on it that basically in that code contained its like negotiation parameters. That code would be called the endorsement. If you can think of it that way, that would be a really good way of thinking about it, right? So there's a bunch of different types of endorsement, but there's really only three that we really need to understand in order to really be able to operate with negotiable instruments. There's the blank endorsement, the special endorsement, and the qualified endorsement, okay?